Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
We join the Mother World talk shows, and Elijah, of course, our very first topic of discussion. We'll spend what is left of our time discussing the exit of some board members from the Cathedral board. And this time around, I'll start with Comrade Bernard Mornah on this issue. Comrade, you have, I can do 10 minutes for you.
Sincerely, I don't feel comfortable speaking, but because you have asked me to speak on it. When dog bite dog, it's no news. And so when Duncan-Williams was made the board chairman, and he went on to look into the faces of Ghanaians and lodge what I call a soft insult by telling us that he doesn't see why anybody will oppose the construction of a cathedral, because he's been told, and permit me to say, he was lied to by the president that no public resource was going to be used. Duncan-Williams believed the president. And that was for me a shocker, that Duncan-Williams grew up knowing President Akufo-Addo that this is not a man you can take for his word. And for him to come and tell us in the open that why doing something in the name of God for whatever. And we kept asking the questions. What was it to say that a national cathedral that was going to be built on state land meant that we're not going to spend state resources? That was public resources. You remember, we had many justices, including Justice Kweku Jan. Kweku Jan had moved into his new justice's apartment less than 18 months. The building was completed, built for purpose for justices. Less than 18 months of his occupation of his building. Some other buildings within that same vicinity were yet to be completed. Some were at roofing level to be completed for the use of our justices. And then we decided that so much money that we have invested to construct houses for our justices will be demolished. And you are demolishing them for what? To go and sit in a place so that you can say, God, thank you for impoverishing the people of Ghana. And you know, when President says that he stands with Israel, you must believe him. President left Ghana and went to Israel to go and bring a stone, a piece of stone. They took helicopter, a plane, to go to Israel to go and bring a piece of stone to come and put it down and say foundation stone. There are no stones in Ghana that can be used. He went and brought a piece of stone. Duncan-Williams and co. believed the president. Unknown to them, Duncan-Williams, Daki Woodwood, Mills, issued Anaba, that village boy. You know he's a Frafra man. And Anaba is a village man. Frafra people are village boys. As far as I am concerned. Still, he is a village man. Is he not a Frafra? If you take away the Frafra aspect, then we can talk. But as far as I am concerned. But clearly, they believed in President Akufo-Addo. I think 5 of them resigned now. 5 out of 12 have resigned, leaving 7. The 7 go and check their background. They eat and dine with the president. One of them has different birth dates and even different mothers. Right? And different names. You know, one of them, oh, and you tell me that he's a man of God. These men of God, I don't know who is not a man of God. But these are the men of God who have different mothers, different, what we call it, passports. They have different names, but in their physical, they are the same. They are there. And they can claim that they even advanced money.
One is spiritual, other is physical.
They can claim that they even advanced money to the National Cathedral, and that money should be given back to them. So the so-called personal cathedral, now metamorphosed into a national cathedral, is one of the edifices to siphon state resources. One of the edifices to siphon state resources. And so when Ablakwa decided that he was going to do the kind of investigations and exposés that followed up, Duncan and Eastwood Anaba said, okay, let's halt the activities of the Cathedral Board. Let's call for auditors to audit. Of course, they claim they have appointed auditors. The audit report was supposed to be ready in June. We are in October, getting to November. So more than 4 months after the expiration, the audit report is not ready. Then they come and say that the National Cathedral Secretariat has failed, so they are resigning. Then the same National Cathedral Secretariat that could defend some of their own, because they could defend Kusi Boateng. What's his other name? Yes. They could defend him. They issue statement defending him. This time, they issue statement condemning their own colleagues. But in the condemnation, they said that no, the audit has been set in motion. But the audit is in delay. But they did not state that in that letter to them, they also indicated that let's halt the activities. Has the Secretariat halted its activities? But you see, that's why I said dog bite dog. Because when we were here and we're telling Duncan that, look, Waterstone, they had their building, private company. You went and demolished it and said you were going to compensate them. As we speak, no compensation has been paid. They have gone to sue the government of Ghana for damages. And you know that the court will award judgment. Because their property was there, they have their documents. So if you are going to take over, you have to pay. You did not pay. So we are going to cough up in excess of $8 million. Another instance, one of the companies is going to court in excess of $14 million. And you say that state resources have not been used. Then suddenly Parliament was there, also approving giveaways by Ken Oforata in his budget statement.
Which one?
The monies that they said that they were seed capital. Where?
Who didn't?
But seed capital was given.
No, that's for the seed capital. It was part of this thing right from day one.
So
it was the policy.
No. So they did.
Approve further payments.
You understand?
They sidestep Parliament in paying for those.
So clearly, I don't know whether Molvi bin Sali will leave their mosque and go and be at the National Cathedral to pray.
But that's what they said. They said it's for
I don't know
it's interdenominational.
Which National Cathedral?
the pit that they have.
It's not National Cathedral.
The pit that.
To go to the pit. And
Because that pit now, if you go there, crocodiles are already swimming there.
more than crocodiles.
Crocodiles are already there. So, clearly, if I want to speak, they will say I'm attacking, you will say man of God. But I'm a man of God because I will speak passionately about things that afflict humanity and not to keep quiet over them. And anybody who speaks for humanity and works for the common good of society, you are a man of God, not those who will come and then use religion to stop us from speaking.
Thank you. Thank you, Bernard. This is Dr. Kofa Segbefia, who says, one thing I have noticed about this government is that it never does anything that the people cry for, unless it comes from only them. Once everyone clamors for a state of emergency, Nanado wouldn't budge. It's that simple. That's Dr. Akofa Segbefia. And Charles Cardinal says Akufo-Addo is very discriminatory and does not deserve the presidency. That's Charles. And there's Kokumaoli Nanegbe, who says, regarding the unimaginable level of flooding in the lower Volta and across the rest of the 8 regions in Ghana, what's so difficult about declaring a state of emergency? Does declaring a state of emergency take anything away from Ghana's status? If anything at all, it rather tells the rest of the people, the rest of the world, the Ghanaian people need help and quickly. But because we have an insensitive, heartless, thoughtless government led by President Akufo-Addo, a more than necessary legitimate declaration of state of emergency is denied. Are the people slaves at all? Koko Mauli Nanegbe sent that one. Of course, I've just been notified that the name you see on the number will not be Rabna Frimpong. It will be Dorcas. I just found out that one of my producers' name is Dorcas. I've known her as a Rabna for a long time. Her name is Dorcas. So Dorcas Frimpong is the name you will see on the 0551 521101. Nana.
So now this matter, I don't want to talk about it. It's very heartbreaking. To think that this government can use the name of God to commit such an atrocity. 399 million Ghana cedis gone down the drain, and the only symbol you find is not even maybe a foundation with pillars, but a hole, very big hole. So we can say that the most expensive hole in the world can be found in Ghana. It is so sad. You remember about 2-3 weeks ago, Ghanaians couldn't pay for dialysis, and a young woman who was featured on your sister station, one of them, has died because she could not go for dialysis. The government has spent 399 million Ghana cedis just on a hole. I believe that His Eminence Archbishop Nicholas Duncan-Williams and Reverend Eastwood Anaba, they know the reason why they have resigned. And I'm surprised that the Secretariat of the National Cathedral is saying that whatever they are saying is false. What is the meaning of whatever they are saying is false? They haven't accused you. They said do an audit. Do an audit, halt the program, do an audit, and let's see how much has been spent. They said that they have employed Deloitte and Touche to do the audit. How can an audit that you started in March, in November, almost 8 months, you haven't finished? You are not auditing in it, you are auditing the construction of a hole and architectural fees. These are 2 items. You are not auditing bolts and nuts because you haven't put in any bolts. You haven't put any nails. You haven't put any furniture. You are auditing a big gaping hole and what? Architectural fees. That is all. That shouldn't be an item or items that should take so long to audit. The fact that it has taken that long to audit, then it means that there is some form of corruption that has gone on. So the 2 men of God, I don't think why it's become such or problematic or a big news, or it's taking their attention. Reverend Duncan-Williams also resigned. Others have resigned. So if these 2 resign, they want accountability. You see, I believe they have resigned because they also build cathedrals. Christians in this country have built cathedrals. You see, when a government is about to fall, they play with God. I am surprised that this government came on the back of the battle is the Lord's. Today, for what they have done, they will be in battle with God. Because you can't do this and get away with it. You use the people's money, the taxes of the people. Even if you did fundraising, it's still not your money. Because this is the dream of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. That is his dream. His dream to build the cathedral, for a promise he made, he said, at the Wailing Wall. The Wailing Wall in Israel, that when he wins, he will build a cathedral for God. And that is personal. And I always say that Nana Addo could have even gone to his hometown Chibi to build a church. It is a fulfillment. But you see, immediately he puts the thing across, the idea across, he has charlatans amongst his people. And I believe they told him that, look, this is a way to make money. And they pushed him, as they always push him, to go for this national cathedral. Okay. You said the National Cathedral will be a tourist site. I am surprised you said God's house will be a tourist site. But it will be a pilgrimage. So go and build it somewhere in Cape Coast. Somewhere in the eastern region, even in the northern region. That for the Volta region, because of the way he feels about it, I don't think he would want to put anything there. So put it outside Accra, so that when people come, they will pilgrim to the place to go and pray, visitors. But no, you break down all these buildings and you have not been able to do anything. Nothing, absolutely nothing, just 2 gaping holes costing 399 million Ghana cedis. Money that could be used to build hospitals, money that could be used to build schools, money that could be used to create employment opportunities for the youth. You have just sunk it in holes. And if 2 people who think that it is not good for their image want to resign, you speak against them. So they don't have to. I don't know why this government, when they do anything wrong and somebody reacts, immediately they speak against the person. These are men of integrity. They will not always, listen to you or do your bidding. Which audit report can take 8 months to come out? You are just auditing a hole and fees. And so now you telling me that? Me, I'm not against a national cathedral. We have a national mosque. How was it built? Through private financing. So there is nothing wrong if we had even, as Christians, come together to build cathedrals. Do you understand? I know the Archbishop told them that they can do it below the money that they have spent and build a whole cathedral, because he has built cathedrals. And it became argument. Bernard was saying that the president told that's what they are using, that when he was going to build it, he told the Archbishop. Yes, if you tell a man of God that you are going to build a cathedral, do you want him to say no? No, he will not say no, because he is a man of God. But if he notices that you are not honest about it, he will leave. That is the only thing that he will do. He will leave. Because if he stays there, then he's making God very angry. You see, everything that these people do, you see, it is just out of place. Everything is bazaar. Because they don't even respect God. Under the watch of God, they want to make profits, or they have made profits and abandoned God's house. Can you imagine that? And they don't even care. The way they do things, they don't care. It's none of their business. They've been able to make money out of it. So that is what it is. Tonight is very sad that these people can make money on the head of God. Can you imagine this? That on the head of God, on our head, whenever we took a loan, they took a loan in our name. Ken Oforiatta, Honorable, made 154 million as money to commission, running the books. Every loan that we took, so consistently they took loans and eventually dragged the economy of this nation down. Then it came to haircuts. Then he came to ABCD. They don't care. As long as they are going to make money for themselves, Senna, they don't care. To the point that they have touched God's money. You see, this one, they have touched the eye of God. And when you touch the eye of God, you pay the consequence. And they'll pay the consequence in 2024. You see, every time when I say that the election in 2024 is going to be won by God, people don't believe me. This action alone, they can never redeem themselves. And God will make sure that he speaks to them. God has a way of speaking to people people do not see. He has a way of speaking to people that you have promised him, that you will do a BCD for him. You have not been able to complete your promise to him. But right now, you are using that promise to your advantage. So now, if you are not a Christian, you don't understand the promise to God. Immediately you make a promise to God, you have to fulfill it. If you do not fulfill it, you pay the consequences. And especially if in your bid to fulfill it, you do things that is not pleasing to God, God will punish you. You will get your punishment. I mean, no matter what it is, you will get it. Because where they have taken us, they don't even want to account for the 399 million Ghana cedis. I think it is. You see, that is where I agree to what Ben is saying. Sometimes you want to speak for my brothers there. Me, I have a lot of friends and brothers in parliament. But their character is not fine. Yes. Because you see, something like this, you are there as a gatekeeper. I always say that.
I'll take that.
You tell him. I always say that 275 of Ghana is in that room. And that room is Ghana, 275 constituency makes up Ghana. But they are not helping us. Such a matter, you should have taken it up. You should let the executive know that you are there.
We have.
Do you get me? The executive should let the executive know that you are standing with us. But you are not, especially the NDC side. Almost there, sometimes I don't know what they are doing. Anyway, Senna, let me leave it.
Thank you very much. I think it's 275 minus Santro Kofi Akwafololo Bilikbe. This is positive change in Madina says this Nanado Baumia government has retired the progress of this country and is going to take us a lot of hard work and effort to redeem the image of this great nation again in the future. The only hope we have now is to bring back the NDC and JM to repair the damage caused by this wicked government. Honorable.
Sina, well, let me say this. I have, from day one, said in as much as I am a Christian, I don't believe in the building of a national cathedral. I thought it was unnecessary. It was not fit for purpose. But you see, we have a president who always, lavishes himself in the things that he sees in the West. France has a national cathedral. America has it. UK has it. So he also wants to build one.
He said it's a promise to God.
And I felt that was really unfortunate. You see, since when did our constitution say that personal promises of His Excellency the President will become a national responsibility? If I go, I've been to elections, and when I was going for election, I said, I prayed to God that when I win, this is what I will do. He doesn't become the responsibility of people of Odududu to bear that responsibility. It's your personal pledge to God. So people go to church, they pray, and God listens to their prayer. They go to church and do thanksgiving, personally. They don't entrust that responsibility on their family and everybody to fulfill. So I think right from beginning, we all made a mistake by allowing the president to transform his personal pledge to a national responsibility. And that we should all accept. Look, talking about Duncan-Williams, it's when I buy the rest. Personally, I'm a very good friend to them. I can say. They reluctantly accepted this responsibility. Because prior to this, there was this perception among the government functionaries that those two persons in particular were NDC sympathizers. So if they had refused to serve on the committee, it would have fell into that category, how they've been categorized. But before I proceed, Sena, I want people to listen to this song. It's very important for all that we are discussing. And if your people can let it be played for us, I'll much appreciate it. Can you tell your people to play it for us?
Honorable, please.
Just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes.
I don't have actually.
Yes.
It's 2 minutes.
There's
past,
a message.
So I'm already past my time.
Oh,
Yeah.
they should give us. They should give us more time. We are begging producer to
Yes.
give us more time to listen. Stealing in the name of God is a very serious thing. Max Romeo sang that song so many years ago. And I think that is where it's come to. That is where it's gotten to. And I said, these two men of God, Reverend Anaba, because he is Anaba, together with his church congregation, has built a church auditorium which takes over 5,000 people in Bolga and in Accra. Action Chapel takes close to 10,000 people. The Pentecost Auditorium takes 35,000 people. They didn't ask the state to fund it. They funded from the congregation. They funded from their own money. So what do we need a National Cathedral for? If the state want to perform a function, they go to Pentecost Auditorium at Gomafete to do it when they have large numbers. Do we really need that cathedral? So are you going to bring people from Action Chapel should leave their church and come to National Cathedral? People from Pentecost should leave their church and come to National. It was totally unnecessary. That is my feeling right from day one. But let me say this. The worst part of it, when we're discussing this in Parliament, when we're arguing, my point is that the location of the facility technically is totally unnecessary and unimportant. Makes it unnecessary and unimportant because the location is going to cause huge traffic anytime that thing is built and there is a function there. Yesterday, just the graduation of law students, if you saw the traffic around that area, let alone a National Cathedral, and there's a function there, I swear the whole of Accra will come to a standstill. I'm telling you, just graduation of law students yesterday, there was chaos. So look at where you're going to plan National Cathedral. Even when there's a function at the International Conference Center, there's always a problem there. So, like Nanaya said, in all places where we've had said things, it's almost like a tourist. Do you know what makes it a tourist center? People will come in, they'll have to travel, so they spend money in the economy. When Felix Ufebuanyi considered building a cathedral, he didn't build it in Abidjan, Yamoussoukro. So you step into Abidjan, then you travel again to Yamoussoukro. So what you are doing is actually spending money, creating money within the economy. But you want to put it here, between Kotoka and that place, what distance? It doesn't make sense. All the things that they use to justify the building of the cathedral never makes sense to me. But you see, I am happy, and I know in 2025, on the 9th of January 2025, President Mahama will tell Ghanaians what good use we will put that facility to.
There is no facility, there's a pit.
In fact, I'm saying, yes, it's a pit, it's been dark. We're going to put it good use. On the 9th of January 2025, we're going to use that place for a better facility that will serve the people of Ghana for generations to come. Because we build, they always come to destroy. And we shall build again. We shall build something, I'm not going to say it here, we shall build something that will bring benefit to Ghanaians, to humans, human being, and to this society. And that rather will bring more profit to the economy and will pay for all the losses that have been made, the demolition of judges' buildings and all these other facilities that have been destroyed. Okay. My last point on this issue is that it is a lesson to us. A lesson to us that politicians should not always be the ones to decide People set agenda. Sometimes here you set agenda. But one, it is totally unheard of that a politician's dream should be what should carry. Look, this should have been a subject for discussion, a subject for us to discuss as a people. So right from day one, the conceptualization of it should have even come to Parliament for Parliament to discuss whether it's a project worth a sort. So if the people's representative say yes, then we can say that the whole nation has taken it upon himself. But one person's dream, he goes to dream. You don't know whether that night he ate kokonte, TZ, bankung, or what he ate. You don't know what Auntie Rebecca, where Auntie Rebecca may have touched that night. That will have conjured some aspirations in him to come out with that. And then all of us jump on that bus and then we go with it at our cost. I think it's totally uncalled for. The National Cathedral wouldn't have served the purpose for which it was going to be built. And it is good that God himself in his own infinite wisdom has brought an end to that dream. Because I don't see how they are going to go ahead with this. Because where it's gotten to, well, now I just talk about people who are dying because they cannot afford just a simple dialysis. This money we've pumped into it could have provided free dialysis centers across the country.
Honorable, thank you. Thank you very much. Stephen Penwa says, I want to suggest that the pit should be used as fish pond to farm fishes to support the protein needs of Ghanaians. Doc, please conclude.
Did you hear that? Yeah. You heard the message.
I didn't hear the Honorable Neil Vanderpoel say that when if they win power, they are going to prosecute the criminals.
There's a simple law. There's a simple law that will be activated, causing financial loss to the state, willfully causing financial loss to the state. And I don't think people will get off that one because people have gone to jail on lesser crimes.
Yeah, so I thought that would be one of the first things you would say. You know, I mean, really, from the get-go, I knew that this was a stupid idea. But, you know, I've made this point before. Maybe I should make it again. You find in politics often that people are forced to resort to conning and lying to achieve one objective or the other. And in fact, if you come across an adult, a normal, regular adult who says that he has never told a lie, you feel very frightened of that person. But if you see a politician who's built his entire career on conning, those persons are very rare. In contemporary history, you only have Mr. Trump and the British Prime Minister, what's his name?
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson.
They're two good friends.
I mean, they are rare. Like that the entire political construct is built on con. And that is the situation we have with our president. Now, he couldn't believe that he had been able to con Ghanaians to hand in the presidency. So why not top it up with a cathedral? Because all of Christendom had been mobilized to achieve that tsunami that they achieved in 2016.
They use the Christian and Lord to cover up their occult.
And I'm not even sure that Neil and his party has fully understood how that tsunami was put together. So he was in a celebratory mood. But from the get-go, this cathedral has been built on a foundation of lies and conning. And I believe that the two gentlemen have realized that no, this is a sinking ship, and they must jump off before it is too late to do so. Not really. At every turn, crimes have been committed. Our constitution has been put aside, has been disregarded. Loss has been caused. So at the very least, we should be promising the good people of Ghana that their people are going to be prosecuted, including those who allowed the con to be perpetrated. It's a real tragedy, you know. I mean, if you're going to convert it to a fish pond, I mean, when are you going to recover the millions of dollars that have really been sunk into this criminal enterprise? But that's really what it is. From the get-go, it was a con, it was a criminal enterprise. People should be prosecuted and definitely go to jail for it. That's my attitude on that nonsense.
Doc, thank you very much. This is a message sent via WhatsApp. It says, what was my respected ministers, Bishop Duncan and Reverend Anaba, waiting for? What did Reverend Dak see and resign in the early days of the cathedral that they did not see until now? That's a message. Did not come with a name. I think the name is Timothy. Okay, Timothy. Timothy in Atebubu. And of course, a big thank you to you for making time to join us on the Mother of All Talk shows today. And once again, our sympathies continue to go out to the people who are suffering from the disaster on the Lower Volta Basin. Arise Ghana will be there to share their little with you. We've seen a lot of people mobilize in support of the victims, including, I've seen Honorable Kujato Ablakwa already announcing a housing project to house about 20,000 of the replaced, and is working with First Sky, I believe First Sky, the contractor, and they are putting it together. He went there to make some donations. I see former President Mahama go there to do some, and then I also see the running mates of the 2020 running mates also go to do some donations. Alan Tremanti has also been there to do some donations. The Vice President, like you said, did 160,000. So there's more that is expected. We need more than that. There's a story of this lady told my colleague Patrick Asford-Boydu at Radio Gold that she actually, when she went home and realized the flooding had started, just decided to pack the things onto a higher platform, hoping that this is normal flood. Give it time, the room will be cleared, the water will be cleared from the room. When she came back, she had lost her house completely. So she couldn't salvage anything. Imagine someone like that. It means even the toothpaste and the toothbrush they will use, they need. So they need everything. So do not only think about the food. Donating even toothpaste is going a long way. Toothbrushes is going a long way. Even if you give them money sometimes, in some cases, they will struggle to find a provision shop to buy anything from. Provision shop to buy anything to. Yes. Water is heavily contaminated. There's also the story of even St. Kizito, where the people were moved to and people were leaving. The next day, when they tried to access the place had been cut off by the water. Luckily for them, St. Kizito is not flooded, but access to St. Kizito, you now need a canoe to get to them. So there's so much happening there that we need to support in dealing with. And like it's been said, the places are many. It's not only the 3 Tong constituencies. There are several other places, many, 10 constituencies in total and counting, that we need to support. So please, that's why we are coming to you this morning. The number is 0551 521101. Our target is to raise 200 mattresses and send to them to make them sleep easier. Well, let me say a big thank you to Honorable Neil Van der Poy, who you just heard. He's member of Parliament for Ododo-Diodio. And also thank you to Nana, as always. Nana Iya Achimpim Jantwa, who is General Secretary of the Convention People's Party. Comrade Bernard Mornah. I like to refer to him as an activist mostly. He's former chairman of the People's National Convention. He's still convener of the Arise Ghana. Okay. So, member of Arise Ghana. And of course, a big thank you to Dr. David Percy, who is a student of history and politics. Before we go,
my senior kid.
Okay.
Yeah. They taught me at the future leaders.
But this man is an agriculturalist. You keep saying he's a student.
Well, today, today at exactly 1 p.m. At the headquarters of the Shia Muslim community, Ghana, Accra New Town, 55. There is a We Stand Together with Palestine event that is happening. We Stand Together with Palestine event that is happening today, 1 p.m. headquarters of the Shia Muslim community, Ghana, Accra New Town, 55 at 1 p.m. So please continue to support those efforts, and I want to applaud the MPs who have taken up the challenge. It's difficult for a lot of your colleagues, but they are trying. They are doing their best. Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa and the other 2 Tong. Yeah.
From the caucus to support the people, and we just hope that we will be able to do more. But I think this one should not be only an NDC or minority affair.
No.
This is a national disaster, and I believe the whole parliament should also think about how we can support the people.
Well, we are done for today. Thank you very much for making time. The show was live on Pan-African Television.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.